Here we are going to talk about the advantages of bookkeeping. We noticed what is bookkeeping. What is bookkeeping? We saw
keeping records of business transactions.
that is called bookkeeping, right? So there are some advantages of bookkeeping, like one,
Permanent and reliable record.
right? It's called permanent and reliable record keeping, right?
Okay.
Okay, so permanent record for all business transactions. Permanent is it should be there for how many years? As per the law of the country, in India it is 6 years are required, I believe. Okay, in certain countries it's sometimes less or more. Okay, so the permanency of the record is important and reliability of the record.
What is mean by reliable?
Reliability is it should not get corrupted and all those things. Okay, if you put in a computer, the record should be available. You cannot delete the master entry or any related entries, all those things. So the record should make sense with all the records. Okay, that is this makes the record.
Could you explain this diagram?
Yeah, it is somewhat clear, self-explanatory. Should the records be accurate? Everybody said yes. And our records accurate? Currently 30% says yeah. But everybody wants the records to be accurate, right? You have your own bank account. Maybe you didn't access the bank account for 4 years. Think that your bank account has vanished. How dangerous it is. You don't want that to happen. Likewise, and you cannot get corrupted. Okay, if your record, we don't know whether how much amount you put in, but the account is there. That and all will create confusion and distrust and problems.
What is mean by slightly?
Slightly in the sense, there are 3 options. How much you agree to the okay, slightly agree means 50% agree. 50%. It's okay to not to be right. So records be accurate. Everybody wants it 100%. Are records accurate? Only 30% says yes, it is accurate. Okay. Can records be accurate? Yes. 60% says yes, it's possible. We can keep the records accurate. Okay. Then how important is accuracy is very high. The black one says no. Right? Are records accurate? Many said no here. Can records be accurate? Many say
yes.
Yes here. Okay. In case of how important is accuracy?
Many says yes.
Everybody says very important, right?
And some of them says as
slightly. It's okay. Yeah. Even certain records we cannot spend lot of money to keep it accurate. Maybe my purchase habit. Who cares about such data, right? So those things need not be accurate. It can be slightly wrong also. Okay. Banking transaction, it has to be accurate. Right? Okay, let's go to the next important point. What is it?
Arithmetical accuracy of the accounts.
Yes, this is the very important.
Could you explain to me, sir?
Yeah, arithmetical accuracy of the accounts talks about something like trial balance, which can be easily prepared, which should be able to be prepared easily. This checks the arithmetical accuracy of the accounts.
What is mean by arithmetical accuracy of accounts?
When there is the numbers, the total amount on the debit and the credit should match. That's called tallying. Okay.
For what purpose the trial balance helps me? Like
this. Here you see that thing, the debits and the credit is matching here. If this doesn't match, then there is entire accounting process is faltered. Okay. So the arithmetic accuracy of the account clearly shows these two have matched. Okay. That is the idea. If that doesn't match, it's something wrong. For accounting is not proper. The income and outgo is not correct. Okay, let's go to the next wonderful point.
Net result of business operations.
Net result of business operations talk about profit or loss. Net result means always bottom line of business operations. End of the day, the business is for what? Making money, right?
Yes.
Sometimes it gets into loss, but it has to be correctly calculated. So, okay, very important is you have to have all the expenses on one side and the income on one other side. It has to balance correctly. Okay. If it doesn't balance, or if it doesn't show whether it's profit or loss, we cannot really manage. We cannot know the real business position. Okay,
Yeah.
so we do not know whether what we are doing is right or wrong. So this importance is depicted in this picture.
Okay.
Next one
Extrainment.
is ascertainment of financial position. Ascertainment means,
Could you explain?
ascertain means any point in time knowing. We can say for sure. It's called ascertainment. We can talk for sure of a financial position. What is a financial position? Either profit or loss. What is the status of the finance? It is just not enough to know profit or loss.
The proprietor should have a full picture on his financial position in business. Could you explain?
Yeah, full picture of his financial position shows what is at stake, how much is spending, how much is to
It shows
come.
the stage of business.
No, yeah, it shows his current position, how much money is coming, waiting to come, how much expenditure is waiting to be given, how much money vendor needs to be given, supplier needs to be given. Okay, all these things will be clearly known. Sometimes it looks positive, but there is a lot of debt waiting. Okay, once the full picture is known, it helps him to plan the next year, the subsequent years. More money, more expense; less money, curtail all the expense. Okay, so ascertainment of the progress of business is the next one. Ascertainment of financial position and ascertainment of the progress.
What is the difference between these two?
Yeah, ascertainment of financial position shows where they are financially.
Yes.
Progress of the businesses, whether they are doing good job, whether they are making money. Okay, every year will be in position to compare the statements. This will enable him an ascertain growth of his business. He can know whether it is growing, or it is stagnating, or it is going down. Okay, he has to know the picture clearly. Okay, the bookkeeping enables long-range planning of business activities. So this way he can do a lot of planning. Okay, besides satisfying short-term objective of calculating the profit and loss. Okay, so this way he can boost the income and business prospects, like the arrow going up. Okay, next comes
calculation of dues.
Dues. The dues are accounts payable, right? Whatever we owe others. It is like supplier might have supplied goods. We might be on a credit term. We have to pay back. Okay, maybe it is payable later, but still it is, always waiting to be paid. Okay, if knowing or ascertaining that payments that need to go. Okay, if we know the certain transactions,
payments much he has to pay others.
What we have to pay others, then we can keep track of our whatever cash flow. Have you paid your dues? Hey, it's a funny way of remembering.
Yes.
You got to pay the dues, man. Okay, next one is
control over assets.
Control over the assets is important. The course of business, the proprietor acquires various assets, right? Building, machines, furniture, computers, everything. He has to keep check over them and find out their values year after year. Because something depreciates, something may go up, right? So he has to keep tab of what is the current value.
In these accounts, the sales and the sales also comes there?
Yeah, no, asset doesn't have any sales, okay? So here it is like this, asset inventory optimization. These are this kind of tools needed. Hardware, what all he has, desktop, laptop, EDA, all these things. Software is also an asset, operating system, database, packaged app, custom apps, ancillary software products, etc. So like the cell phone, modems, everything is an asset. So he has to manage what all there, what can be accounted, okay, all those things. Let's take another one.
Control over borrowings.
Yeah, borrowings is when you borrow or take credit. This is your accounts payable. So when borrowings is you borrow cash. You take money from bank. You take credit or loan from other banks, other sources. These loans are repayable. Okay. This he has to monitor so that he can control the assets. He should have control over liabilities. Very important. Okay? If not, worried man picture always. Okay, you have to remember that if you don't have control over your borrowings, you are stuck. Okay, then comes the identifying the do's and don'ts. You know what to do with it?
Uh-huh.
So you have to list what you can do and what you shouldn't do.
Oh.
That's what bookkeeping helps to identify the owner or the proprietor or the director or the shareholder. So basically, the person who is running the show helps. Bookkeeping helps to make intelligent periodic analysis of various aspects of business, such as purchases, sales, expenditure, and income. Okay, so you have to remember, such analysis will be possible to focus his attention to what should be done, what should not be done, should be done, should not be done, to enhance his profit earning capacity. End of the day, business should make money.
Oh.
So he has to focus on his attention on those that need to be done and
Need
those
not
things
be
that
done.
should be stopped. Okay, that should not be done. Okay.
Fixing the selling price.
Yes, this is the crucial point. Fixing the selling price is how the business depends on the profitability. Okay. The businessman have to consider many aspects of accounting information, such as cost of production, cost of purchases, and other expenses.
Accounting information is essential in determining
the selling prices. Okay.
Okay.
It's very essential, so that the
What
selling
is mean by essential?
Essential is very important.
Important.
Okay. Very need. Without which you lose the business.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot overprice it or underprice it. You have to know what the cost, hence you can factor in the expenses, and hence you can be profitable also. Not you will lose business.
Okay.
Another one is taxation. Businessman should pay the taxes like sales, income tax, sales tax, etc., property tax, everything, advance tax. Tax authorities require them to submit their account. Okay.
Okay.
For this purpose, they have to maintain a record of all their business transactions. So, bookkeeping helps to identify the right taxes, okay, and pay it in advance and at the right time to avoid penalties. So,
management decision making.
So, bookkeeping helps management in decision making process. So, planning, reviewing. What are the plans? You have to plan the business. You have to review of the progress. You have to revise the strategies. You have to control the cost, and you have to make decision functions of the management or validated by bookkeeping records. Without bookkeeping, you cannot know any of these things. Okay, that's where the reports come into picture. You will learn about it later. And not but the least, it's the legal requirements, which is very important. Ignorance of law is not bliss. So claims against for the firm in relation to outsiders can be confirmed. Bookkeeping helps to confirm this.
And established by producing the records as evidence in the court.
Yeah, when there is a question by the accounts auditing or court, you have to produce the records. Without bookkeeping, man, you are in trouble. So legal requirements a must. That's it, with which the advantages of bookkeeping we are very clear about.